My name is Brandon Evans, and I am going to be your moderator. We have a condensed time frame, so we'll jump right into 2-minute opening statements, and then we'll have a series of questions. We're going to start with Mrs. Grimsley-Vasquez and then work our way down.
Okay, great. I'm Tiffany Grimsley-Vasquez. I am a Bay Area native. I've been a resident of Hercules since 2013 and a member of the City Council since 2020. I am a mom and a wife. I have 3 children. My son just left for the Army today, so it's a little bit of my time delay today. I'm really excited to run for a second term in office. During my first term, I promised voters that I would focus on community engagement, safety and security, our financial stability, and our environment. And during my time in office, I've had some accomplishments related to those things, and I think a second term would give me an opportunity to do more for our community. I'm most proud of my accomplishment with the Willow Palm sidewalk project, which allowed for safe crossing and safe walking to our current transit center, and walking all the way over as far as Valley Bible Church and the underpass that goes over to Sycamore Avenue. But I've also been able to introduce a Juneteenth celebration, support the re-entry of the Cultural Fest and 4th of July fireworks. I've started a youth in government program and Team Up to Clean Up, which allows community members to volunteer in helping our community stay beautiful.
Perfect. Mr. I don't want to mess this up. Bhattarai? To give me the correct pronunciation, please.
Yeah, am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, great. Yes. First of all, good afternoon, everyone. And then my name is Dilli Bhattarai. I'm a father and husband of a beautiful wife here and live in Hercules for many years. As a planning commissioner and a senior revenue manager for over 20 plus years in strategic planning and analysis, and a community leader, I'll bring a unique perspective and dedication to the future of our city of Hercules. And I believe in fostering the sustainable economic growth by attracting and supporting small businesses with diverse revenue stream and ensuring financial the stability for spending within our means and enhancing public safety by community policing approach. And with the commitment for both immediate needs and long-term vision for prosperity, I'm ready to use my financial expertise to help build a stronger, more equitable, and Hercules where all residents can thrive. And thank you for your time, and I look forward to discussing how we can save the future, better future for our city together.
Thank you. I see Alex is not in the spotlight, but I'm going to give Alex 2 minutes. Alex, are you still with us? That was not him calling on myself. Okay. Alex, want to check audio for you? Alex, can you hear us? Okay, seems like Alex is having some audio issues. We will allow him to introduce himself when he rejoins. We're going to go right into the first question with Mrs. Grimsley-Vasquez. What is the single most important issue facing Hercules?
The single most important issue facing Hercules, I would say, is our growth. We are a growing city. We're a city that has had a long history as sort of a bedroom community, and now we have built a number of high-density housing, and we are looking to introduce a transit center that would bring both a train and ferry service to Hercules. We're well underway with that project. Now our focus really has to be building up business community around that. So that with the increase in the number of residents we have, they have businesses and services that they can patronize within the city of Hercules and keeping our revenue within our city. We had a recent study within the city that suggested that much of the expenditure for our residents goes to the cities of Pinole and Martinez. And so we want to keep as much of our revenue as possible in the city of Hercules. We don't want to increase taxes or anything like that in the future. So we want to make sure that we have a sustainable business plan that will allow us to have the kinds of restaurants and entertainment centers, certainly shopping, grocery, other types of retail, so that we adequately serve the number of residents that we have. Right now, it's 27,000 and growing.
Thank you. Alex, want to check your audio? See you're back with us. Okay, same question. See Alex. Okay, Mr. Bhattarai. What is the single most important issue facing Hercules?
Thank you again. I think Alex is here, so you want to go with him or let me finish my statement?
Alex, can we check audio again?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Alex, let's, we're in the middle of the first question. We'll have you answer what is the single most important issue facing Hercules, and then please also give us a 2-minute opening statement.
Yes, and I am so sorry about.
Zoom has a mind of its own, guys. I think so. I'm sure.
Alex, you're muted.
Mr. Bhattarai, same question. What is the single most important issue facing Hercules?
Thank you, Brandon, again for the question. I just wanted to give the opportunity to Alex if he can to introduce. But anyways, here I am. I cannot agree more with our council member, Tiffany Grimsley. But most importantly, just like she outlined, we need to have a sustainable, balanced growth that attracts new businesses at the same time, supports our revenue growth to support our, the operating expenses as well as capital expenditures. So basically, here are my approach. If I get elected as a representative, I will focus not only to support our existing business, but also attract new businesses with the diverse revenue streams. For example, we have, the Big Lots is about to leave in the next couple of months. So I would like to focus my energy and work together with our staffs, council members, and the business communities, and of course, our residents to bring the right type of anchor retail stores in our Creekside to replace the lost revenue by the Big Lots. Similarly, I also wanted to focus our energy to fulfill or fill the empty spaces, into empty retail spaces in our waterfront. So I think it is a collective approach, but I think I can bring that the new perspective with the 20+ years of the corporate the finance professional experience to the table, and then I think we can take to the finish line together.
Thank you. We're going to stay with you for the next question. If elected to the city council, how will you address affordable housing?
Again, me, right?
Yes, correct.
Thank you again, Brandon. Very important question. Important question for not only me, for the community. Definitely, affordable housing is one of close to my heart because we would like to make sure that the city is more inclusive and equitable to all. And the ground reality here in our city here is basically building cost has when it skyrocketed. It's not only for cities throughout the California, and I think throughout the nation as well. But at the same time, I think there is a silver light that we will work hard with my staffs, again my council members, and then a developer community that they can also the allocate some resources and work together to have some affordable housing opportunities for the low income community members as well.
Thank you. Ms. Grimsley-Vasquez, same question.
Yeah, I think it's really important for us to vet our developers that are coming into the city and to work to ensure that they know that it is a value for us that we have low income housing available, low, moderate income housing, because we have all levels of income in the city of Hercules. And I think it is our desire, the majority of the Hercules community to be inclusive especially in terms of socioeconomics. And so we want to ensure that we have housing that is priced appropriately. And I think our mix of low, medium, and high density housing has been conducive for that. But additionally, we have in the past, and I think we should continue to offer incentives for first-time home buyers, as well as for low, moderate income families or individuals that want to purchase in Hercules. But then also, as I stated originally, working with our developers so that we are having the kind of housing that can be priced appropriately. And we are asking developers now that they include low income housing in their builds. And when they cannot do that, then we have to, be willing to look elsewhere and sometimes even let that developer or that development project go. And we've done that at least in one case where there was some additional taxes being proposed. And we said that we're just not that kind of community that's going to have one development area that has a level of taxes that aren't, common to our city for new people trying to buy in Hercules. So that's definitely something that is a priority, and it's absolutely something that our existing council has worked hard to maintain in terms of making our home prices over time. I heard the beat.
Totally fine. I do see Alex's hand. Alex, I'm gonna check audio for you. Alex, are you talking?
Yes, can you hear me now?
There we go, bro. Go
Yeah.
ahead. Give us an opening statement, Alex, quickly. And the question is, how will you address affordable housing?
Again, I apologize. My phone overheated, but Alex Walker Griffin here. I've been a member of the Hercules City Council for the past 4 years, and I've been a resident of Hercules since 2002, and I spent my entire childhood here, even decided to stay here throughout adulthood. But how will I support affordable housing in the city? One is working with the developers. Like, Hercules is in a beautiful area. We all are aware of this, and we have some enticing stuff coming to the city. And so we need to work with developers that specialize in affordable housing to make sure that they're attracting, they come and look here. I think the Exchange has a really great model of how you can make beautiful homes for a very affordable price. So if you look at their models, they have a tier system based on income. And I think that that's one of the things that we need to continuously follow, similar to the comments that Councilwoman Grimsley made about making sure that we meet people where they are and having housing at incomes of all levels. So again, that's working with developers that prioritize and specialize in affordable housing. And to be quite honest with you, how we're going to go about that, I want to make sure that when we do these projects, that they actually remain affordable and the price tag is actually obtainable. Again, by working with developers who specialize in this, and at the same time working with the current developers that we've had rapport with over the years to incentivize them to continue to develop further affordable housing in the city.
Great, Alex. We're going to stay with you. Sorry, Mr. Walker Griffin. We're going to stay with you. How will you improve safety for city residents?
So safety is a very encompassing thing. So one thing that we really need to do is continue to make sure that when the merge does happen, that we work with our county supervisors and Con Fire to make sure our firefighters have the tools that they need, while simultaneously working to make sure with our police department that our officers have the tools that they need for both agencies to have mission success, for lack of a better term. And how do we go about that? Well, one, have those tough conversations. What are the areas that our officers need to improve on? Is it through communication skills? Is it different tactics? So that way we're aware of the modern day trends and things that are happening, but at the same time, making sure our police officers feel safe on the streets. And while we're doing that with our fire department, at the same time, make sure they have the tools and equipment to be modernized and be a proactive fire department and have the tools available so when the next big disaster happens, we're prepared for it.
Thank you. Same question, Ms. Bhattarai. Mr. Bhattarai.
Thank you again, Brandon. Definitely, I think we need to make that switch that our policing is the police resources more geared towards the community policing and relieve some the volume of calls and then be prepared for the emergency preparedness and our streets are safe, our the residents are safe, and the call this city is and live the cities peacefully. And more importantly, I think we would like to make sure that we have a community engagement. I think that our the city police needs to be more engaged with the communities, and I would like to build the community advisory board or something like that, so that that will build the fostering the relationship between the communities and police, and then change that the community policing approach. I think that would be the help to build the more the community safe, and continue to be safe place as a Hercules has been here.
Thank you, Mrs. Grimsley-Vasquez. Same question.
Thank you. I'm going to agree with both of my fellow candidates and along with those issues. Fire mitigation is one of the things that we need to really focus on in Hercules. We are in the middle of several refineries, even though we're losing one. But we do have to be concerned about fire mitigation. And so that's something that we're going to have to talk with our new partners with Fire about. But also making residents aware of safe routes for exiting the city in case of emergencies. There's something I've talked with both the fire department and the police department about in terms of having town hall and community meetings or some sort of information sessions that allow residents to know in case of an emergency, where do I go and what do I do and how do I do it safely. Also continuing with my projects around safe travel, walking, driving within the city of Hercules should always be safe. And so looking at our traffic safety issues and finding out where we need to make improvements in terms of whether it's stop signs and stoplights or crosswalks or bike lanes. We want to make sure that in transit that our community members are safe.
Nice. Staying with you, Mrs. Grimsley-Vasquez.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll work down the screen. How will you how will you maintain Hercules's high quality of life?
That's a great question. I love that question because that is definitely a priority, I think, for all Herculeans, and one of the fears that maybe some of the longtime residents have had about the growth of our community. Hercules is a beautiful, comfortable place to live. One of the things that Mr. Bhattarai said earlier was something that we've been working toward for a long time, and that's building community with our police officers and having that sense of involvement by our police department with our community members. So, from the safety aspect, from the beautification aspect, our public works department works really hard at maintaining our city. We've been discussing a lot about lighting and landscaping recently within the city. So we want to make sure our lighting and landscaping districts are functioning properly and so that we keep the lights on, keep the landscaping beautiful. And we want also just to have a lot of community engagement, which is where our volunteerism programs come into play, where we are in tune with the community members because we have to have an opportunity to hear their voices. So when we meet up for Team Up to Clean Up or any of our other volunteer opportunities, we get a chance to talk directly with community members because not a lot of people, quite frankly, come out for a council meeting on a Tuesday night to discuss with us what's going on in the city. But when we get to engage with people and more than just an ad hoc, one-off person in the grocery store or something, it's really informative to hear people talk about, what they'd like to see in the city and then work with our city staff to enact those things. So I think we just really, I mean, it's multifaceted question, but we're working, I think, in all aspects to continue to make Hercules a beautiful place to live.
Thank you. Mr. Bhattarai, same question.
I see that Alex has a raised hand. Do you want to go with him, or can you repeat the
I
question?
think Alex's hand has been
sorry.
raised. Yeah, take it down for us, Alex.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Can you repeat that question again, please?
Yes. How will you maintain Hercules' high quality of life?
Thank you for the question, and it's a very great question. Just like our, the council member and candidate, Tiffany Grimsley mentioned that, that definitely our improving our quality of life that includes the improved parks, street lights, our bicycle lanes, and then upgrade, the parks as well. So improved parks, and then an improved library system in place. Basically, I think we need to, as a Herculean community, we need to work together, improve our community engagement, and try to improve our I think we already the city has already developed the 10 years plan, but we need to implement that on timely basis. That's a more important thing. So that helps us to improve our parks and lights. And same time, we need to also invest bit on the library system, because I believe in the education, and education is the the foundation and the prosperity for the city, and the improve the quality of life. So I think these are the few areas that I think I would the focus and work with and my fellow council members and my staffs, and more importantly our the constituent, our residents, and to build the improve our parks, improve and extend our library hours, and then basically the improve our cities streets and the bicycle lanes, and then the bring the livelihood of our city, and then so that city is being the more inclusive and engaged with all the communities, so that helps to build the quality of the life in the city.
Thank you. Mr. Walker Griffin, same question.
Yep. Yes, thank you. The beauty of Hercules is, and what we've really developed here in town, is we're proactive rather than reactive. So one of the big things that's really been great for our city is the Hercules Connect app. So if there's an issue in real time, people can report it, and our staff jumps on it pretty immediately. And in the past couple of years, Hercules has been really great at meeting the people where they are. Two initiatives that I started here in town. Actually, it was my very first night as a council member. I introduced our Police Chiefs Advisory Board, and I was working with Chief and Bowden, so that way community members have voiced the conversation, or at the table, I should say, my apologies, with our police department. And even though Chief and Bowden's no longer with us, he retired, that same thing continued on with our current chief, Chief Vasquez. And additionally with that, another thing that I started with the support of my colleagues was our Senior Health Fair Day. So rather than folks having to drive to Martinez or other cities throughout the county to get resources for the help, we have it right here at the community center, or the senior center right here in town, so people can actually go to it in their own city rather than having to go out. Again, I think the beauty of Hercules is we've been rather proactive rather than reactive, and trying to basically play a game of whack-a-mole. So how we're going to continue to move that momentum forward, again, is being proactive. We've been doing this with our Parks Master Plan. We've been doing this with our Capital Improvement Plan, where we've been counting the issues ahead of time and then jumping on them and being proactive rather than saying, oh my God, this problem's here right in front of us. Now we have to do it. And you see with our community events, just like our farmers market that I was actually just at a few moments ago, where we're actually trying to meet constituents where we were. With our Parks Master Plan, what we did was absolutely phenomenal. We not only mailed surveys home, but we tabled in parks. We reached out to people. We reached out to people in every single sense. And I think that that's one of the biggest ways that we've been able to maintain our quality of life, is because residents can get a hold of us, and we're easy to find, and we're easy to get information from.
Thank you. I'm going to take a little personal privilege as a Hercules resident and throw this question in here. What do you guys love most about living in Hercules? Starting with Alex, Mr. Walker Griffin.
Well, I grew up here. Actually, the hoodie I'm wearing right now is the elementary school that I went to Maloney. So I'm a very big fan of the city. I think the best thing that I love about it, outside of its location, are truly the people. I mean, it's amazing to you walk down the street, you'll never know who you'll encounter. You'll never know someone's story. You may hear someone speaking Farsi, the next person speaking Hindu. It's truly what I would feel is the essence of the American dream. Majority minority town where people largely have white collar jobs or doing good in their profession. If you broke down this story and pretty much put it anywhere throughout the United States, we would probably have all the stereotypes. We're in the hood, we're low income, and we're uneducated. And Hercules is the exact opposite of that. And I really do appreciate how much the community really bands together. Like seeing our football games on Friday nights, seeing how excited people get during the elementary school graduations. When I went to Aloni's 5th grade graduation this past year, the amount of grandmas, grandpas, aunties, and uncles that came out was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, you have 4 generations supporting a kid that's probably not even going to remember the event, but that just shows the character of the town that we have, where we support our fellow Herculeans, not only from the cradle, but all the way through. It's insane to for me at least, to be able to still keep up with the teachers that I've had that have been so instrumental in my growth. And that's something that I think is really unique to Hercules. And every single day, it doesn't matter. You can walk along the Bay Trail and you will always get a smile from somebody, someone you may not even know, asking you how are you doing and actually taking the time to stop. So I think it's not just necessarily one thing about Hercules, but if there is one thing, it's the people that make it what it is. I mean, people are proactive about picking up trash, maintain this beautiful city, and being friendly all at the same time.
Love that. Mr. Bhattarai, same question.
Yes, very important question, and I echo what our the council member Alex just mentioned that I think I lived in 10+ years in South Bay, and then I moved here, City of Hercules, because I really loved the air atmosphere, but also more important the people, the diversity that we brings to the table. That is very important for me, and then that's very important for the city to for the city as well. And like the our council member the Alex just mentioned. Um, I enjoy walking in the waterfront and then hills, and equally, the middle diverse, the group of people, and that that gives me the immense, the opportunity to interact with the people, and then always the positive thinking, and then you can find the from the 3 generation people living in the same neighborhood, same time. I think it's hard to find anywhere else in the throughout the United States. This is the best place. I call this my home. This is the best place in the universe, basically, to live and raise kids, and that's how I choose this city to be my my call my home, and then my city, and I'm proud to do that actually.
Thank you. Mrs. Grimsley-Vasquez, same question.
Thank you. Yeah, Hercules is just a great place to live. And one of the things I enjoy most is that it has kind of a small town feel, that I can walk into the grocery store and run into Alex and then introduce him to the new store manager. And then he can introduce me to the lady who lives down the street from him. And then we can, both go on our way. And then I, run into, Dilli somewhere else, or we both end up, or all of us end up sitting in on the elementary school spelling bee. I was at a Titan football game last night, out in San Ramon, and Titan parents showed up, and that's that kind of community. Like everybody's pitching in, everybody's participating in something, and you never know who you're going to run into where, but you're going to run into somebody that you already know, and you're going to meet somebody new all at the same time. I love that about Hercules. I grew up in El Cerrito, and when I was growing up, El Cerrito was very much that kind of city. So it's been a real pleasure for me to raise my children in the environment similar to the one I grew up in. So that's what I love about living in Hercules.
Nice. I second all of what you guys just said. It's a very great place to live and myself raise a family. So we're going to go right into our closing statements. We're going to start right in the middle. And we'll end with Alex. So, Mr. Bhattarai, give us a 2-minute closing statement.
Once again, thank you for the time and the opportunity to introduce myself today. Basically, as a long-time resident, planning commissioner, and financial planning analysis expert, I deeply committed for the future of Hercules. And our city is a critical juncture, and I believe that with the right leadership, we can harness our potential and the sustainable growth while preserving the qualities that makes Hercules unique. And my priorities are again attracting and supporting our new businesses with diverse revenue stream, ensuring financial stability and spending within our means, and enhancing public safety with the community policing approach, and improving our parks and libraries that enhance our quality of life. All focus on to creating a stronger, more vibrant, and an inclusive community. With the extensive experience of financial planning analysis and forward-thinking approach, I'm ready to tackle our city's challenges and build a prosperous future for all residents. And I'm here just not to run for the serve, but I'm running to lead us towards the Hercules where everyone can thrive. And I humbly ask for your vote and support in upcoming election. And together we can make our city where we all can deserve. Thank you again.
Thank you, Mrs. Grimsley-Vasquez. Closing statement.
Well, thank you so much for this opportunity today. I really enjoyed the questions that you posed, and thank you for bearing with me through all the technical difficulties. I love Hercules, and I love being able to serve the Hercules community on the city council. And, I would like to continue working on the areas that I have been diligently working on so far, and they are around issues of community engagement, safety and security, the environment, and just generally our financial stability overall. I look forward to another 4 years if I'm fortunate enough to be reelected, but I'm here to stay. So, elected or not elected, I'm in the game, and I will continue to serve the Hercules community. And one thing I promised voters the first time around, and I'll say it again, win or lose, my integrity will be intact. So I won't say anything that I can't back up, and I won't, try to do something that I know I can't do for Hercules, but I will do everything that I can to serve the Hercules community. And I think I've demonstrated that I have a lot of heart for Hercules. So thank you again. And I appreciate this opportunity.
Thank you so much. Mr. Walker Griffin, close us out.
Thank you. And then again, I apologize for being late, but Hercules is the hometown, like I mentioned earlier. And again, just wearing the Saloni hoodie shows the pride that I have and the love that I have for the city. It would honestly, I could have like a lot of my friends who decided to move away from the city and serve in different capacities, and God bless them in full speed ahead. But I decided I wanted to stay back and help the hometown that I grew up in. And it's been an absolute honor and it's been an absolute privilege. Hercules is not the same city it was 4 years ago. Thanks to this council, the stuff that we've been able to do has been quite frankly historic and remarkable. I'm gonna take a little personal privilege when I say this, but last year when President Biden invited me to the White House, not only was it a personal accomplishment, but it was an accomplishment for the entire city. That right there showcased that Hercules, one of the smaller cities in the Bay Area, and out of all the cities in the country, is actually doing something right. To receive that check from Congressman Garamendi in partnership with President Biden shows us a lot. The past 4 years, I've worked with all of our partners. Just a few months, just last year, we had Governor Newsom's team come out here, and they cut us a check for the Hercules Hub. New businesses have been opening left and right, and all at the same time we've been doing this, we've managed to keep that hometown feeling that Councilwoman Grimsley mentioned. And Hercules has continued to grow, and it's going to continue to develop, but we're going to be smart about it. And I'm excited to look forward for the next 4 years to continue that on. Again, Hercules is not the same city that it was 4 years ago. This is an open and transparent council that's reflective of the community. Not too many places can you say your police chief lives in your town along with your city manager. But that's all because of the folks who live in this town and my council colleagues who have made this all possible. So again, thank you to the Hercules voters who believed in me 4 years ago. And I look forward to continuing again the next 4 years, should I be so lucky.
All right. Just want to say thank you to all of our